Mercy One Genesis is launching their Pack the Bus campaign. Mercy One is asking the community to come and fill a bus with as many school supplies as possible. And volunteers will be at one of 4 locations throughout this week from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. collecting bags, pencils, and any other supplies a student might need. Since starting Pack a Bus in 2019, Mercy One has been able to donate over $80,000 worth of school supplies. And our coverage will continue on our WQAD 8+ streaming app when Good Morning Quad Cities at 8 airs in just a few minutes. So this morning we'll hear just how your donation can make the difference in the education of local students. That's only going to be on the 8+ app exclusively there. So download on your TV, watch for free, and come join us in just a few moments.
And we have a lot to talk about weather-wise there because we have a weather impact alert in place for tomorrow all the way through Thursday. We're expecting another round of high heat and humidity working its way back into the region. So today, relatively comfortable. We get these temperatures in the 80s this afternoon with partly to mostly cloudy skies. Can't rule out a stray storm this afternoon and even late tonight. Tomorrow morning, other than a stray shower storm from that complex, we get to the afternoon, temperatures really starting to heat up. So our weather impact alert goes through tomorrow through Thursday. Extreme heat and humidity. Make sure you're staying hydrated if you have to be outside, and limit the strenuous stuff until early in the morning or later in the day. Here's what those numbers look like by tomorrow: 104, and on Wednesday, some of us near 110 degrees.
From WQAD News 8, this is Good Morning Quad Cities.
Hey, good morning, Quad Cities. Thanks so much for joining us over here on the 8+ app. It is July 21st. I can't believe we are already, almost over with July and into August. It's crazy.
I know, and I was having a moment because the monitor in front of us is mirrored. This one,
right.
So I was like, wait a minute,
right.
I'm on the wrong side.
I know. That's right. Yeah, right in front of us. It was everything's backwards on the monitor in front of us.
Everything's backwards.
That threw me off earlier too.
I was like, whoa, okay, we're good now. I've regathered myself, and I know I'm not going crazy.
Well, thanks for joining us now. You're here mentally now.
Yes.
But it's a beautiful day outside today. This morning it was gorgeous.
Yes.
It
my
was
gosh.
cool enough, chilly enough. It wasn't hot or humid yet. But unfortunately, it's a one-day only type of thing, right?
That's right. So if you have yard work to do or anything else that involves a whole lot of movement outside, you got to get it done today. Otherwise, you're going to be sweating like crazy the next 3 days. We got a weather impact alert to talk about coming up in just a moment. Let's get to traffic first, though, here this morning. It's been quiet, another quiet start. We haven't had any weather impacting the commute, and everyone behaving. Everyone's using their blinkers. Everyone's not hogging the left lane. That's the way it looks right now anyway. Temperatures have been nice and cool, like Ava said. We've had dew points drop into the 60s this morning, and not just any 60s. These are the low 60s. This is the good stuff, the really comfortable stuff to have. The reason for that is there's a lake breeze that moved in overnight, and you can see that with the difference in temperature. That breeze made it here to about the Quad Cities. East of that, cooler. To the southwest of that, much warmer, where we've got some 70s in parts of southeast Iowa. So here's our plan for today. We're still going to have some clouds to deal with, just like we did yesterday, but a few peaks of sun mixed in. Will be in the upper 70s to low 80s this afternoon. A weather impact alert will then take over tomorrow, going all the way through Thursday as we track in that next round of heat and humidity. When we'll see the worst of the two combined, and also when we'll break it down with showers and thunderstorms, we'll be tracking all of that coming up.
Thanks, Andrew. Well, another close call in the skies. This time it was between a passenger jet and a military aircraft. A flight from Minneapolis was reportedly forced to make an aggressive maneuver over North Dakota to avoid a mid-air collision near Minot Airport, not far from an Air Force base. And here's ABC's Allison Kosick.
Another close call in the sky. The pilot of a SkyWest jet operating as a Delta connection flight says he was forced to make an abrupt maneuver while landing in Minot, North Dakota to avoid colliding with an Air Force B-52 bomber.
It was just really aggressive how he jolted.
Passenger Monica Green was sitting in the fifth row.
So I could feel that we're getting closer to the ground and we're starting the descent. All of a sudden, we just kind of jerk really hard to the right, and it goes from like this to just like almost sideways completely. And we're like looking out the window and facing the grass.
Once safely on the ground, the pilot apologized over the intercom.
It was a military, I don't know how fast they were going, but they were a lot faster than us. I felt it was the safest thing to do to turn behind it. So sorry about the aggressive maneuver. It caught me by surprise. This is not normal at all. It was not fun, but I do apologize for it, and I thank you for understanding. It was kind of not a fun day at work.
The plane had departed from Minneapolis, flying to Minot, which is home to an Air Force base with B-52 bombers. It's unclear how close the two aircraft came, or if a cockpit alarm was activated. The scare, reminiscent of the mid-air collision between an American Airlines jet and a Black Hawk helicopter outside Washington, D.C. back in January, which left 67 people dead and raised questions about military flights sharing airspace with passenger aircraft. As for this case, Green praised the pilot for his quick thinking.
Huge thing for that pilot to make that decision and get everyone safe. So kudos to Delta for that guy. He saved the day on that.
SkyWest and the Air Force are investigating. An Air Force spokesperson did confirm that a B-52 assigned to Minot Air Force Base conducted a flyover at the North Dakota State Fair on that same day. Allison Kosick, ABC News, New York.
Well, if you're flying Alaska Airlines out of Chicago today, be sure to check your flight status before heading to the airport. The airline issued a ground stop overnight for an IT outage. They announced it was resolved just before 2 this morning, but the airline says it could experience some ripple effects throughout the day. A former Conesville clerk is pleading not guilty to misusing more than $127,000 in public funds. Yamira Martinez is charged with theft and charges related to fraud. She was arrested after a state audit found misused or unaccounted for funds, and a jury trial is tentatively scheduled for October. Meanwhile, a Bettendorf man is charged with multiple felonies after police say he forged the signatures of his clients on insurance checks. Dennis Flaherty is charged with 1 count of forgery and 3 counts of identity theft. Flaherty is the owner of Continental Fire Adjusters in Bettendorf, and police say he forged the signatures of both his clients and a financial institution without their knowledge or consent and deposited more than $250,000 into his company's bank account. He is currently out on bond. Microsoft has issued an alert about active attacks on its server software. The affected SharePoint servers are used by businesses and government agencies to share files. Microsoft recommends customers disconnect their servers from the internet until they can apply new security updates. The company said cloud-based SharePoint Online and Microsoft 365 was not affected. Meanwhile, the U.S. Cybersecurity and Infrastructure Security Agency said Sunday it is aware of the breach. New research recommends parents not give smartphones to children younger than 13. A just-released study looked at self-reporting from nearly 2 million people in more than 160 countries. It found smartphones used by kids under the age of 13 were associated with mental health problems, especially among girls. Now, those issues included suicidal thoughts, poor emotional regulation, lower self-worth, and detachment from reality. Research found that for every year before age 13 that a person acquired a smartphone, their mental health and well-being was likely to be lower. That was likely due to kids accessing social media more and experiencing sleep disruptions, cyberbullying, and negative family relationships. But don't panic if you have already given your child a phone before the age of 13. Instead, talk to them about the risks and consider using parental controls, deleting apps, or switching to a flip phone. The study was published in the Journal of the Human Development and Capabilities. A $2 billion legal showdown between Harvard University and the federal government kicks off today. The lawsuit centers around a federal funding freeze by the Trump administration and accuses Harvard of promoting what it called radical ideologies and failing to address anti-Semitism. Harvard is fighting back, calling the move unconstitutional and a threat to academic freedom. Tariff issues are already causing concern ahead of the holiday shopping season. The Christmas ordering period is hitting retailers with uncertainty on what they can count on for availability and prices. Retailers say whatever they get will cost more because of announced tariffs by President Donald Trump, and items ranging from Christmas decorations to toys and games, as well as other imported items, will likely be impacted by the tariff charges and the ordering process. The Toy Association also reports about 80% of toy products sold in America come from China, which faces some of the highest tariffs from the U.S. Well, in just 2 weeks, Quad City schools will start welcoming students back, and families are busy getting ready. But this year, tariffs could make that even tougher. So what kind of prices are parents seeing, and how could it affect your back-to-school budget? Liza Lucas and Rebecca Lindstrom look into it.
Back to school. It is that time of year, and that usually means shopping for things like clothes, lunch boxes,
and supplies. But this year, there is a new factor: tariffs.
So to help us understand what to expect, we turn to someone who follows this closely.
The question comes down to how much can the retailer and the brand shield the consumer from that? How much front loading happened in the supply chain to get product here before those duties took effect? And then inevitably, how much will prices go up on families, whether during the back to school period or as we head towards holiday at the end of the year?
Matt Priest is president and CEO of the Footwear Distributors and Retailers of America. He says retailers and brands are juggling quality, profit, and uncertainty with supply chain shifts.
If we start to increase prices, we know inevitably, Econ 101, that demand will go down.
To better understand the impact, we have been tracking more than 100 everyday items, from home goods to TVs,
food, and clothes since April, when the tariffs took effect. So far, back-to-school basics like scissors and pencils are still the same price. Around 20% of the products we're tracking dropped in price, even with tariffs. Some items are going on sale, but 23% of items we're tracking do now cost more.
Some increases are small, like this Reynolds wrap. It's up 30 cents, possibly due to tariffs on imported aluminum and steel.
And you'll pay $1 more for these light bulbs. Other increases, though, are even more noticeable.
This bookshelf was $150 before tariffs. Now it's closer to $200.
These sheets and towels, good for a college dorm, also jumped in price, but parents say they're taking it in stride. A new PwC survey shows a third are taking advantage of sales and shopping early as economic uncertainty lingers. That same survey shows nearly 3/4 of parents don't plan to make any changes to their shopping list just because of tariffs or inflation.
But economists like Tom Smith warn about potential price hikes.
We don't see firms often decreasing their prices once they've increased it.
With the tariff rollout staggered much more than initially expected, some economists say we may not really feel the pinch until after Christmas.
For now, let's just get school started. For 11 Alive News Investigates, I'm Liza Lucas.
And I'm Rebecca Lindstrom.
Starting today, Mercy One Genesis is launching their Pack a Bus campaign. After a one-year break, Mercy One is asking the community to come and fill a bus with as much school supplies as possible. Volunteers will be at one of 4 locations throughout the Quad Cities this week from 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. Since starting Pack a Bus in 2019, Mercy One has been able to donate over $80,000 worth of school supplies to local school districts. Mercy One says the community is already something they value, and Pack a Bus is only adding to their commitment.
I know that there's such a great need in the community for the school supplies for the kids that are needy, and so this really hopefully will make a huge impact for them, kind of put a little bit of worry off of their parents so that they know that they'll be able to start the school year right.
Today, Pack a Bus is at Genesis Medical Center at the Davenport East campus, and throughout the week, Mercy One will be at 3 more locations, all collecting school supplies for the upcoming school year. 8/11 still ahead, Bragg Mania. The bike race across Iowa kicked off this weekend. How one community is getting ready for the influx of bikers.
And we are tracking a new round of incoming heat and humidity. This one quite fierce. It's going to send heat index readings well above 100 degrees, and we'll track the arrival of it with a weather impact alert next.
From WQAD News 8, this is Good Morning Quad Cities.
Hey, welcome back. It's 8:13, and this morning was off to a pleasant start.
Yeah, nice temperatures, nice lower humidity. You know, that ain't sticking around.
No, it's like it's dangled right in front of you and then
Yeah.
just snatched away with some heat advisories in the forecast for this upcoming week.
It's
Weather
coming.
impact alert.
Yeah, it's coming back again. Like, darn it, thought we were done with this for a little while. But yeah, it's the end of July. I guess it has to return at some point, right? Traffic this morning, there's been nothing hot about that. It's been a very easy start so far to the day. Thank goodness we don't need anything complicating a Monday, that's for sure. So we'll go right past the traffic, which has been quiet, right to a live look outside. This is just south of Rock Falls at the Whiteside County Airport. We have a few clouds still managing to hold on, and those will still be a part of our story today. Though I think there's a better opportunity to see some sunshine at times as we go through your Monday as well. Here's a live look from our Moline Eagle Eye. Still some construction going on here outside of our studios in the roadway. 68 degrees. And the dew point noticeably lower than yesterday, 63. That is very comfortable. Who do we have to thank for that? Lake Michigan. Yeah, lake breeze made its way inland overnight. Now it will retreat some as we go into the afternoon, so we will eventually build back that humidity, but it made for a nice cool start this morning with temperatures in the 60s. So we're going to be in the 70s here shortly if you're not already, and then we'll work our way into the upper 70s and low 80s for this afternoon, with some clouds continuing to stream in. Couple of things to note on the weather map this morning. That boundary that brought all the heavy rain-producing thunderstorms over the weekend has now drifted south. That's where the high heat and the high humidity is. That will lift northward here in the next couple of days, so we're tracking that. And we're also tracking this complex of storms here, which is going to try and head our direction. But what will likely happen is it's going to fizzle out and fall apart. That's what Future Track indicates, and I largely agree with that. Now with the heat this afternoon, I cannot rule out a straight pop-up shower thunderstorm. The majority of us are going to be dry as we get up to 84. Tonight, there will be a shower thunderstorm chance late, much warmer and muggy, will be in the 70s. Here's that storm chance heading into tomorrow morning, another dying complex of showers and thunderstorms. But you know what it's going to do? It's going to put out the humidity, so that 91 tomorrow is going to feel much hotter. We have a weather impact alert from Tuesday all the way through Thursday for extreme heat and humidity. Not our first rodeo with this. We know what to do to stay smart, stay hydrated, stay cool. We have an extreme heat watch for the whole region also in place until Thursday. Let's not forget about our pets either. We're not leaving them in the car. We're not putting them on the hot pavement. Save walks for early in the morning, very late in the evening. Here's what the numbers look like. Feels like temperatures today have the upper 80s to near 90. Tomorrow, ooh, yeah, look at that. 104 to 105 is what it will feel like. Wednesday will be the worst of this 3-day affair here, because Wednesday is when we go to 105 to 110 for feels like temperatures. Thursday, still a little scorch here, but by Friday we'll work on a cold front. Showers and storms will begin cooling us down. Shower and storm chances this week. Again, very limited today, tomorrow, nothing coming in on Wednesday with all that heat. But as we break it down, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, some of the cooler temperatures coming in, there will be a better chance for showers and storms. Yes, there's some severe potential. That will become a little bit more clearer here in the next 48 hours or so. It is something we're going to keep an eye on. But our red boxes in the near term are focused on heat. You can see there's plenty of it. By the time we get to Friday, we will see some scattered showers and storms break down the heat a bit. But the heat returns for the weekend with at least a little bit of humidity, and even into early next week still looks fairly hot. It looks like we'll get a little bit more stable relief from the heat and humidity by week number 2. But get ready to sweat tomorrow, Ava. The heat and humidity are coming on back.
Oh yeah, those were some big numbers there, Andrew. Thank you. Well, this morning it's an early start to the second day of RAGBRAI. They'll accomplish a RAGBRAI first, a ride across state lines into Minnesota as they make their way to Ethersville. Today's ride is about 41 miles, and other towns featured in this year's RAGBRAI include Forest City, Iowa Falls, Cedar Falls, Olwine, and Gutenberg. The riders kicked off their week-long ride from Orange City early Sunday morning, hoping to get a good start of the 70-plus mile journey. As they left town, they were greeted by some royalty, the Tulip Festival Queen and her court. And then once they made it a mile out of town, the riders turned left and were greeted with the Mile of Tulips decorated by kids in the community. And on Friday night, thousands of cyclists will camp overnight in the city of Olwine, something the city has spent the last couple of months preparing for. Lacey Reeves with our affiliate in Cedar Rapids shows us how the community is all in on welcoming these riders.
The city of Olwine has spent months planning for day 6 of RAGBRAI, when thousands of cyclists will camp in the city overnight.
You know, when you find out you're an overnight for RAGBRAI, it's exciting and oh my goodness, let's get going.
As cyclists pedal into Olwine, they'll pass through the city's viaduct, the inspiration for the overnight stays theme, Duck Duck Viaduct. Many of downtown Olwine storefronts have decorated with rubber ducks to commemorate the occasion, like Blackbird Coffee House.
It's going to be crazy in the best way.
Owner Misty Mullen says she's worked hard to get her coffee shop ready for the big day.
I hope people see the shop and go, oh my gosh, this is so cute, I want to come back.
She's had to order 15 times more coffee beans just for the RAGBRAI riders.
I usually order 5 pounds a week. So I've ordered 75 for one day.
Olwine will be hosting a festival as the riders come into town, hoping to bring Mullen Shop and other businesses a big economic boost.
We are really excited to showcase our wonderful community. There's only one Olwine in the world, and Friday night, thousands are coming through, so we're very excited.
Celebrating the city's small-town charm for RAGBRAI. In Olwine, Lacey Reeves, KCRG TV9 News.
Still ahead, an all-new What's Brewing, how the Twisted Paddle is making their mark on the Quad City brewery scene.
Welcome back and welcome to What's Brewing. The Quad Cities has such a thriving craft brewery scene, and one of the newest breweries in the area is in Clinton County. Earlier this year, DeWitt got its very first brewery when the Twisted Paddle opened its doors. And it's why owner Adam Marcus is joining us right now. Adam, thank you so much for being here with us.
And thanks for having us.
All right, I know it's been a few months, but how have things been going at Twisted Paddle Brewery?
We have been very busy, and it's pretty much everything I hoped for. So it's turning out well.
Wow. What kind of beers would you say Twisted Paddle is going to be most known for? What's your most iconic beers?
I was talking to Dave when we did the Brewed episode. I'm kind of all over the place. Right now I've got Belgian beers, I've got Scottish beers, I got hazy juicy IPAs, I've got just anything you can think of. I don't like to get pigeonholed into, one style, or hey, I've got 6 IPAs and I've got 3 sours. I just want to have a big variety. So that's kind of my thing that I want to do, is I want to have a lot of varieties for a lot of different people. So I don't know that there's any one in particular that I would say is kind of our claim to fame type thing, but I just try to have a variety for everybody. So that's kind of my big thing.
Well, especially being the first and the only brewery in DeWitt, it's nice you can offer all of that to people. What kind of inspiration do you pull from when you're trying to think of new beers?
Well, I've been drinking craft beer since probably 1995. And when I get something that I enjoy, I think, all right, I'm going to try to make that. So I try to make my version of it. Not necessarily, I'm not trying to copy it.
Right.
But I'm like, all right, I'm going to make my version, and then I'll tweak it until I get it where I like it. And then we obviously produce it. So usually it's somebody else's beer that I'm like, I love this style. And then I'll try to make that with my twist. So that's kind of my inspiration, I guess you'd say.
With a Twisted Paddle twist. All right, you've been open for 5 months. What has it meant to DeWitt to bring a brewery to this community?
We are bringing in a lot of out-of-town traffic. And the one nice thing is our bartenders, they're super friendly, but the one nice thing is they'll come tell me, these are all new people. Like, everybody today is brand new. They've never been here before. So we're bringing in tourism to DeWitt, coming from, Quad Cities, Cedar Rapids, Clinton, Dubuque, and they'll tell me about it, and that's how I kind of know that we're actually doing what we envisioned, which is bringing in tourism to DeWitt, and it's working. So I'm like, that was the goal, basically, is to try and bring in tourism to DeWitt.
And remind people where you're located at in DeWitt.
615 8th Street. We're right down in the downtown. We're not on the exact main drag, but we're like a block off.
It's all easy to get to in DeWitt.
Yep, totally easy to get to.
All right. Opening takes a ton of effort, and I know you put a lot of work into this, but I also know you're always looking ahead. What do you envision coming down the line for Twisted Paddle Brewery?
We got a lot of plans. Baby steps. We're all about baby steps, so we don't get into something drastic. But yeah, eventually a great big outdoor patio out back. We just did a little one out front, so at least we had some outdoor seating. But big patio out back, try to up our food more than it is now. We've got good pizzas, we got good pretzels, we've got an appetizer. We're going to start to up that game, just because that's what you do. Originally we weren't even going to have a kitchen. And 2 weeks before opening, I said, no, we have to have a kitchen. So that kind of snowballed, and anyway, it turned into where we have food and stuff now. But we got a lot of plans. It's just, again, baby steps. I don't want to overstep, so we take baby steps.
Well, before I let you go, real fast, where does the name come from, Twisted Paddle?
This has been a 10-year project, and I knew going in that I needed to name it something. And you're thinking of names, We were canoeing one day, and I had a broken paddle. So, of course, I waited until I got off the river to, get on my phone. It was taken. And the night before, I was watching History Channel where they were bending and twisting boards to build boats. And I thought, if I could twist paddles, then I'd call it Twisted Paddle. So I've got my big mash paddle for stirring the grain. I twisted that. And all our flight paddles that you get the flights in, I twisted those. So I thought, if I could call it Twisted Paddle, perfect. I got my own twist on the beers, so it just worked out.
It worked out great. And now you have officially been open in DeWitt for 5 months.
Yes.
We hope for many, many more years of success for you guys. Adam, thank you so much for stopping in today.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
Time right now is 8:26. Let's get a quick check of what's going on weather-wise here on your Monday morning. The situation all morning long has been quiet as can be, and our weather has been very pleasant too. Let's take you out to TPC at Deer Run. Excuse me, there you see a live look there. Very calm start to the morning. Temperatures in the 60s. I'll remind you of a weather impact alert going to be hitting us in the days ahead here with more high heat and humidity. We'll track that right after the break.
Still ahead on Good Morning Quad Cities at 11, Microsoft Cybertex, what's happening to the tech giant server and how it will affect your data. Plus an inclusive summer camp, how New Ability Sports Camp is adapting sports for kids with limb differences.
Let's get you one last check of the forecast here on this Monday morning. 68 degrees, so nice and cool start. We're going to head for the low 80s this afternoon. Can't rule out a stray pop-up shower or thunderstorm here. Tonight, much warmer and a lot more muggy. We're going to be into the low 70s. A little round of showers and storms possible on a scattered basis tomorrow morning, especially if you're north of Interstate 80. But that will then dissipate heading into the afternoon. It will put out more humidity so that tomorrow is going to feel more like 100 degrees. So a weather impact alert tomorrow all the way through Thursday. Each day building in heat and humidity, but it will maximize on Wednesday. Wednesday is the day when it's really going to feel nasty. That's where we could see the heat index approach, if not really surpass, 110 degrees as we get into the afternoon. Looks like a little bit of a break from the heat and the humidity on Friday with showers and storms. Then we got to talk about another round of maybe some heat coming in for early next week. So the active storm track taking a break. Now the heat will take over in its place.
Oh my gosh, when you said 110, my jaw dropped. Oh my gosh, that's really hot.
Yeah, so, you know, not our first rodeo with this. We've been through it before. We know the water, you got to hydrate, watch the pets and all that, but just a good reminder to stay kind of more aware of what your body's telling you this week.
Of course, that's something that we always say is your body will tell you.
Yes.
So just listen to it and listen to it good.
My body's telling me all sorts of things every day. Sometimes I don't want to hear them, but you know what? It still tells you.
Exactly. My body tells me to shut the fridge door when I'm standing in front of it, but I don't listen.
Right?
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us on GMQC at 8. Our next news is at 11 o'clock. We'll see you then. Have a great morning, Quad Cities. Oh, you did it.